Hey, guys, happy Thursday. And you guys know what that means. Obviously, we're back for another day full of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills headlines because they keep coming out one after another. And a former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewife of Beverly Hills, Camille Grammer is now chiming in on what she watched last night along with the rest of us. She has a lot of opinions. She always does. And she, of course, takes to Twitter to share them. So before we jump in, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Also, we will be going live today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Dana Wilkie from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and also Jason for a subscribers only live chat. If you guys want to join, you know what you have to do. Well, with that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, so getting back to it, it looks like Camille Grammer, who's been watching the show, she's been on Watch What Happens Live. She obviously watched the part one of the reunion last night because it was so highly anticipated. And now she's being vocal about what she saw that she didn't like. Now, a lot of fans have been slamming Camille because they feel like she's just trying to chime in order to have some sort of relevancy to get back on the show. And even Kyle Richards said this. She said she's talking about the show more than we're talking about the show, which is kind of ironic. It looks like she wants to get back on the show. And in doing so, it just gives, well, the show more press. But for Camille, she's kind of had this like love-hate relationship with filming the show. She's been around, then she leaves. Same thing with Sheree Whitfield. It's like they're almost on standby. And when the franchise asks them to come back, well, here they come. Even though Sheree Whitfield offers a lot more, in my opinion, than Camille Grammer. So after watching last night and seeing Dorit Kemsley and Lisa Rinna really come hard for Garcelle, especially after the Denise Richards drama and having all of this come back up again, I feel like the Denise Richards Brandi Glanville storyline is the storyline that never stops giving. Well, Camille decided to go on Twitter and say, why are the ladies coming for Garcelle? That's a great question we all wanted to know. And when Garcelle brought up a very good point last night, something that none of us knew, a new revelation about Lisa Rinna, we were shocked. But it keeps going. A fan responded to her and said, Fox Sports 5 sticking together like they did when they came for you. And Camille just simply said, well, true. Because mind you, they did also come for Camille, but there's a big difference here. Camille talked about LVP's mouth and her gum line. She talked about people and infidelities, money that was owed. She really got dirty and messy when it came to her storylines and getting into other people's storylines on the show. She came for Teddy. I mean, she went around the room and she was going for every single person. Now, Garcelle doesn't necessarily do that at all. She might throw little jabs like they say, but that's a part of the show. She's not really diving into your marriages, your personal relationships, what money you might owe. We don't get that from Garcelle. So I think this is two totally different circumstances. Now, after Camille showed her support for Garcelle through Twitter, one fan had a great question. It was actually a fan page, and they said, hold on, wait a minute. Garcelle commented about you coming on Watch What Happens Live, and she said, listen, I think that she should kind of just let this go. I think she should move on, and I don't think that she should be chiming in on any of this anymore. And the fan wanted to know, well, you're supporting Garcelle, so what do you feel about that? She said, I'm fine with it. It's her opinion. I don't agree with it, with a little smiley emoji. But at least she can say that without going in hard on Garcelle. But to be fair, Garcelle is a fan favorite. So if Camille went hard on her, well, the fans would probably rip her apart. Another fan responded to Camille and said the reason that they're going after Garcelle is because they are too afraid to go after Erica. Erica must have some, well, pretty good dirt on them. And Camille said they do seem fearful of Erica. Now, that's been one of the number one questions. You, Dorit, slammed Garcelle as a bully and then retracted that word and said, that was my, wrong choice in the moment. I used the wrong word. And she did apologize at the reunion with this kind of half ASS apology. But fans do want to know about the hypocrisy between how they're treating Garcelle and how they're treating Erica. We're over here calling Garcelle a bully for pinpointing something that the rest of the women have done. And when it comes to Erica, like with her scathing tone at Sutton, nobody said a word. Also, just to be fair, Dorit is going after Garcelle, but she didn't say anything to Kathy Hilton. And Kathy Hilton has had a few jabs herself at how long-winded Dorit is. And then we just saw the Halloween premiere because Kyle Richards was a part of it. After 40 years had passed, she joined Jamie Lee Curtis and she came back onto the movie I don't know in what capacity, but when they did for the premiere, they all decided to dress up for Halloween. Now, the funny thing here is Dorit dressed up like Paris Hilton, and a lot of people thought that that was a very ASS kissing move of Dorit, especially because why aren't you saying anything to Kathy? Kathy has, you know, kind of come for you a little bit. She told you to zip it. She told everybody to be quiet. She's cut her off multiple times. If it were anybody else on the cast, yeah, Dorit would be going in on them, but not Kathy Hilton. Looks like she knows better. Now, Garcelle, who's been working in Hollywood for nearly 40 years, and this was a tweet from Gibson John, who has also been on our show. Wow, we've had a lot of people here. He quoted Garcelle because she said, "I don't need anything to stay relevant. Let me just say that." She has been in the game for so long, and she's had an amazing career. She doesn't need Dorit Kemsley to be relevant. And Camille even applauded her by saying, "Bravo, Garcelle. Good for you for sticking to your guns and just making it known you don't need these women." Well, she also said something last night, and we're going to get to that in our recap today. She said that there was a source close to Lisa who told her that Lisa didn't like that Garcelle was bringing up race on the show. Now, Lisa shut it down really quick. But of course, now that that's out there, all of us want to know, is that true? Did Lisa Rinna say that she does not want race on the show? Because if that is true, that's a very big deal. Now, she did try to debunk the rumors, and Garcelle was like, okay, well, why are you getting so upset about it? To be fair, this is a huge allegation. That's massive. So if Lisa Rinna, if this were true, if this is true, then that's why she's getting upset about it, because, well, she can get canceled for this. But at the end of the day, if that's something that you said, that's disgusting, and you shouldn't be able to get away with it, because race, diversity, ethnicity, sexuality, all of these things, all of these topics, they might be hard discussed topics, but we do have to have open dialogue about them. So for her just putting it out there, if this is true, and just saying, you know, that it's almost like saying, I want a whole white cast and I don't want to talk anything about race. So what does that mean? Garcelle and Crystal don't get to be there? That is ignorant. It's ridiculous. It's silly, and it makes no sense. I am not here for it. If Lisa Rinna actually said this, it's not a good look, and I don't know how Bravo would respond. But again, she did deny all claims. Now, I do have a few questions for you guys. After Garcelle said that Camille should not really be talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills anymore, she should stop tweeting about it, she should stop coming on Watch What Happens Live, and Camille's still supporting Garcelle. What are your thoughts on that? And what are your thoughts about Garcelle bringing up this huge allegation of Lisa Rinna not wanting race mentioned on the show? Of course, we're going to break this all down in our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But in the meantime, I would love for your unfiltered opinions. I want to hear them all. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, get subscribed, comment below. If you haven't smashed that like button, well, go ahead and do so. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. Now with that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.